But anyway, they're very funny. Give it up for Katie Zane.
Yeah, I'm actually really sad about the handshake going away because I have an amazing one. Like, I'm a disabled person, but my handshake says otherwise. Like, it's just so wonderful. Yeah, Indiana. I was going to say this real quick. When I moved to Chicago, I drove from Virginia to Chicago, and when I knew that things were uncomfortable was when I was driving through Indiana. It was like going through Ohio, perfect, which you wouldn't expect because it's still Ohio. But then when you get to Indiana, it's immediately shit, just like immediately shit road. Like, they were like, yeah, we want people to know exactly what kind of state they're driving into the second they get in here. Like, it's just dysfunctional and not well taken care of, just like every citizen in our state. Like, it's just not good. During the quarantine, I think everyone learned something about themselves. Everybody, like, they maybe learned they had a crafty skill they didn't know about. They maybe learned some enlightenment for themselves or whatever. Learned they hated being at home. I learned that I can still shit myself, even if I never leave my house. It turns out, I got into like 6 times, but I feel like if you compare that to 365 days, still a pretty good ratio. I'm still spending most of my time not shitting my pants. So I feel like that's something to be said, and that's something I'm going to celebrate. I like my little wins, and if that win is just that I didn't poop myself that day, I will accept that as my win. There's this little thing that happened, this little thing that happened in January, which you might be familiar with. We had an insurrection. And the thing is, when it happened, the news really caught on to that word. They were like, there's an insurrection, there's an insurrection. And I was like, wow, I really miss when insurrection was just an underwatched Star Trek movie. Can we go back to that? Like, can we just return to where that had like nerdy connotations instead of like weird Trumpy connotations? I don't know. That's what I feel about it. In the beginning of the pandemic, I freaked out, thought the world was gonna end, so I started smoking cigarettes. Because I don't know, I'm sure a lot of people did. And the thing is, I started smoking cigarettes because I'm dumb. I think I can't get addicted to them. Like, I can just start smoking today and then stop tomorrow with 0 effort between that. Just go to sleep, wake up, non-smoker. And I realized that a lot of white people are like this about their racism. Like, they think they can just like go to bed as a racist and just wake up as a non-racist magically with no work involved. Like, and I feel like a lot of them too, it's like they're on their racism clock. They're like, I got a couple more to do, and then I'm definitely gonna turn over a new leaf. Like, I just have a couple more though. Like, I have a schedule I gotta stick to. But yeah, no, people don't want to give it up, and they don't understand all the work. I did eventually quit though, in case you're like worried about my health. I did eventually was able to quit smoking cigarettes. But the thing is, when you quit smoking cigarettes, there's the very common thing that you're told, which is the thing that's depicted in television and movies, which is you're gonna get mad. You're gonna yell at your spouse or whatever, or you're just gonna be pissed off all the time. You're gonna yell at a worker. And the thing is, like, everyone talks about that part, but no one talks about the fact that you might want to kill yourself. And I feel like that's more important. That should be on the package. Like, we should be talking about that more. Because I got so sad, and no one warned me. Another emotion that I want to talk about right now is as mad. People have a lot of questions about why are women and femmes just so pissed off? Why are we always complaining about stuff? Like, why are we always yelling? They're like, will you shut up? Like, can you stop yelling? No, we won't. You know why? Because when I was quitting cigarettes, and I did have those suicidal ideations, I posted on Facebook that I was having a hard time, and a lot of people were amazing, supportive, except for the guy who didn't know how to read the room. Because what I basically had posted was I said, I'd like to kill myself, tell me why I shouldn't do it. I did not say it with rainbow words like that, but that was essentially what the post said. And this stranger commented that the reason why I shouldn't kill myself was because I had a great snatch. And the thing is, how did he know? Like, how did he know? Like, is there a memo out there about my vagina that I'm not aware of? Because, it is great, but, that's... And also, what a weird time to shoot your shot. They're like, you're about to leave. Where are you going to be hanging out? Like, I better hurry up. It's like, what? Why? Like, why? This is why we won't stop yelling. Because y'all pick the weirdest moments. There is this it's an old joke you've probably heard. I think it's an old street joke, really, is that glitter is the herpes of the craft world. It's true, like, unfortunately, it is true. It is kind of for life and always there. But I'm here in defense of herpes because I do have that, and I vastly prefer it to glitter. I just vastly prefer. I'm not really a glitter person. It's not really part of my personality. I feel like that's very obvious. I can't really just like take glitter and just be like swish swish, I'm a mermaid, and just go out into life like that. That's just like not my personality. And the thing is, when I got my herpes when I was 19, I could have just as easily also gotten pregnant. So I'm pretty happy that I have an STD that is the hated herpes instead of a 19-year-old. I will take the stigmatized STD, thank you very much. No kids for me. I actually, in addition to the herpes, I do have about 10 to 11 other diseases and disorders. Do not feel bad with me. Also, I don't have time to talk about all of them, don't be worried. It's not like you're trapped next to me in a flight, like this will end. Like, I won't have time to talk about all of them. But one of the things I have to deal with that's pretty bad is I have multiple sclerosis, and it's an autoimmune disease, which means that my body is self-deprecating by factory setting, which is fine. It does mean that my body attacks itself, and I've been trying to succinctly explain what MS is for years, and the best I've got is that it's the world's slowest lobotomy. Just a casual lobotomy, just like real slow. It's fine. I'm very accepting of my brain damage. You can also laugh with me about it. It's cool. And one of the things it does cause my body, actually, especially when I first started stand-up, is I used to pee my pants a lot. Like, I don't know if any of y'all have laughed too hard or coughed too hard, peed your pants. Probably have. I see a lot of nods here. And the thing is, I wrote jokes about it because that's what I had to talk about at the time. And the thing is, it might have been a mistake because my body heard the jokes and then doubled down on its bad behavior. Because now when I laugh really hard or cough really hard, I just come. And I've had a couple of people who are like, ooh, orgasm, and I'm like, no, not orgasm, just a mess, just female ejaculate in my underwear, like a wet bathing suit, like the worst day of your life. It's kind of like that. And during the pandemic, I saved a lot of people's furniture. Like I saved so much furniture by only being in my own home with a towel. Like it was really good for everyone. And I'm a non-binary person, which means I prefer they, them pronouns. I came out during the pandemic. And I realized since I came out that there's like a lot of misconceptions about being a non-binary person. And one of those misconceptions is that some people choose to change their pronouns for attention. And I just want to make something very clear. I don't want you to look at me. Like if I could do my whole set like this, I would be better. And so like definitely not for attention, not at all. Also, when you have a preferred pronoun, it's kind of like agreeing to do calculus every day. And then teaching calculus to everyone that you meet. And when I was growing up in the late 90s, that was very kind to myself. When I was growing up in the whole 90s, we didn't have the language for being non-binary, for being all the different letters we have in our pride now. And so because I didn't have the right wording for it, I used to like go up to all the different neighborhood kids and just be like, hey, I haven't gotten my penis yet. Because I thoroughly believed that one day I would just wake up and have a dick. Like I thoroughly believed that would happen for me. And I gotta say, there's a lot of concern about like the kids and trans stuff. The kids are all right, because not a single kid questioned this. Every single kid in my neighborhood was like, yeah, when's your penis gonna come in? They were so on board with this. It made sense to them, but I thought it was gonna come in like a haircut or like a hedge. Like it's just gonna slide in there. But I'm gonna get out here on this last thing, which is Americans love, we love to get mad, right? We love controversy, we love to just, we're so upset about it. And we live for that. I feel like every couple weeks there's some new controversy. And a couple months ago, the big controversy was there was a very popular children's toy that has decided to drop its pronoun. And it is now just potato head. And a lot of people were really upset about this because a lot of people thought that root vegetables had genders. And the thing is, the more I assessed this, I was like, actually, Potato Head is the perfect mascot for trans and non-binary people. Like, the perfect mascot. All the parts change out. Like, that's all we want. That's the fucking dream. That's all we want in the world. And even better, you just stuff it in your ass, like, even better. Like, that's all we want. And the thing is, because we're making it a gender-neutral toy, like, let's give it gender-neutral pronouns. Let's kick it old school. We used to have these pronouns before we co-opted they, them, and made everybody mad. We used to have Z, Zer. Because Zer Potato Head sounds like the ruler of a kingdom. Mr. Potato Head sounds like the guy who cleans the kingdom. I've been Katie Zane. Thank you guys so much.
Give it up for Katie Zane.